Welcome to the Watson Training and E-Learning System. To log into the system, simply go to or enter the URL of the Watson Training and E-Learning System and enter your username, which is your email address, and then enter your password. Click Login. After login, the student comes to the Welcome page. It's on the Welcome page that the student sees all of their assigned courses. In this case, the student has been assigned to Management Skills 1, Foundations of Management on Demand, Management Skills 2, and Management Skills 3. Also on this page, every student can see what their current status is in the particular course. For example, in Management Skills 1, this student has a status of 98% of completion. On this page, you will also see something called Assigned Training Paths. For most students, the assigned training paths can be ignored. It's easy to move through your assigned courses in the Watson Training Certified Manager e-learning system. To begin, simply click on a course link. After clicking on the link, you will go to the course home page. There are a number of things to look at here, but the most important thing is the content which appears on the left side of the page. You will notice that there are 10 units inside the Leading and Controlling course, and that these all appear as chapters on the left side of the page. So, for example, we're moving down through the content section. We see Chapter 8, Chapter 9, and so forth, down through Chapter 10. And each of these chapters follows exactly the same pattern. You will notice that the content appears on the left side of the page. There's a little box, which I just clicked, which condenses all of the items on the content menu. So if you see your content menu change in appearance, you've probably clicked this little box up here next to Name. But even if it's in this view, as you move down through these buttons, a message pops up which explains what is in there. We recommend, if your screen is large enough, to leave it in this view, which is the full content menu view. Let's walk through an example of how you will typically study the various chapters in each course. Again, as a reminder, there are 3 courses that are assigned in the Certified Manager e-learning system. We will, of course, go into Management Skills 3, Leading and Controlling, and we see under Course Content that the chapters appear on the left. The first module is really just a help module. It's for your reference later on. But each of the chapter modules follows a complete and predictable pattern. That pattern is you will take a pre-quiz, you will view the lecture, complete a written exercise which you will compare to canned answers, take a post-quiz, and then evaluate your study and send a completed chapter study report to your instructor. Let's see how the quick quiz works. Pre-quizzes and post-quizzes are exactly the same for each module. If you are taking a quick quiz, you will eventually get the answers. So let's see how this works. The first question is leadership theories, proposing that the differences of a leader depend on the situation in which the leader finds himself or herself is known as, and these are known as contingency models. The second question, an enthusiastic leader, and so on and so forth, might be called a charismatic leader. We're not sure. We'll see if the answer's right. Compared to males, female managers tend to be, I'm going to just take a guess at more participative, and so on and so forth, and I'm just going to select some answers at random now. and we will see how this works out, and so on. Now here I have completed all 10 questions in the quick quiz, and I'm going to check the green box, check your answer, and the correct answers show up after the quiz has been graded. So in this case we see that question number 1 was correct, question number 2 was correct, 3 correct, but 4 was incorrect, and the correct answer is given, and so forth on down to the end of the page. We can also view a PDF or a complete outline of the chapter's content. Each chapter has a chapter outline which outlines all the important content that you need to know in order to master the learning objectives of the chapter. Once we've completed the chapter quiz and the outline, we can simply move ahead on the content list by clicking on Next Lesson. This will take you to the next lesson or item on the content menu list. So you will notice we had reviewed the leadership assignment, the map, the outline, and taken the pre-quiz, and now we've been moved right along to the video lecture and leadership handout. Let's look at the leadership handout first. If we click the download and the name of the file, all of the Chapter 1 leadership items. So each slide is available for notes if you want to print it out. It's easy to view the lecture. Simply click on the arrow. Manage and Manager's Lead. However, so we see that each lecture will proceed on its own, and if you want to, you can jump around within the lecture by moving the arrow along the bar at the bottom. So far in the process, we have completed the pre-quiz, we have viewed the video, and now we are going to move on to the learning assignments. By clicking on Chapter 1, Assignments, and Write and Compare Exercises, we go to a page that looks like this. On this page you will see a number of features, and this will be somewhat variable depending upon the chapter being studied. However, in this particular case, there is a leadership solitaire game, which is an interactive game, and you will find that on this link. And there's an enrichment video on servant leadership, and of course the Write and Compare exercise. And the instructions are given where you print and complete the written assignment worksheet as you study the chapter. And you use the print button, which is on the right side of the page. If we look over here, we see the print button. The print button will bring up a page that looks much like this, and all you need to do is send this to your printer, and you will have a complete outline of the topic questions to be answered, your thoughts on a Be the Manager case, and another case which you will review. Once you have completed the activities, click on Feedback Notes, and here you will receive a PDF which gives you suggested responses for each of the topics for discussion, and you'll see they're listed down here, the same as on the Write and Compare exercise, as well as some input on the various case studies. Having completed the Write and Compare exercise, we would move on to the next lesson, and to do that we simply click Next Lesson. We're not going to play this game, but this is a Jeopardy-like game. We will be looking at a download of the game. But what I wanted to point out is that each of the learning activities has all the instructions needed in order to complete it. Moving ahead to the next lesson, we find that this is an additional enrichment video on team leadership styles. Moving to the next lesson, we find a glossary of leadership terms. Glossaries will appear here and there in most of the lessons, and again this shows up as a PDF that gives the leadership glossary terms. Finally, the last lesson is the quick quiz, which is the post quiz. As with the pre-quiz, it has various questions which we can go through and answer, and when we're finished with that we can check our answers, and it will tell us what we got correct and what we got incorrect. Finally, we will move to the chapter study report by clicking on either next lesson, or as usual we can move over and just click it directly from the content menu. Here we see the study report assignment on leadership, and you will find a complete set of instructions. Here we will just open this up, and in this case it opens in rich text format, which means that you can actually enter responses within these boxes using your keyboard. That's it. Thanks for watching.